Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey, everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call, and excited for what we get to learn today. We have quite a few people on our call today. Thank you for joining us live, and I also want to welcome all those who are listening to the podcast. I'm just really grateful for the opportunity that we have to be here in whatever way works for us. Remembered that yesterday I was at the chiropractor, and just as I was leaving, a woman was leaving about the same time, and she looked at me, and then she stopped and looked back, and she said, "I know you." She says, "You do that podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do the Daily Gratitude Call." And she said, she says, "I've listened to that call." And she told me her name, and she's never been on live. She's never, I've never met her before. I'm not even sure if I'm a friend of hers on Facebook, but someone else shared the gratitude call with her, and she's listened a few times, and I fully expect her to be on live at some point. It was just a really wonderful opportunity to meet someone who is being influenced by the daily gratitude call that I wasn't aware of. So that was a really cool experience. Our 90-second private silent meditation this morning is, there were a lot of things that were shared about, and this fits right in line with what I was sharing with, somebody who had the gratitude call had been shared with her, is several things were mentioned, like receiving through other people, comprehending things based on another person, the way that they explain something, influence from the outside, the generosity of others, comprehension, discussions, interactive discussions, friends, new words, promptings of the spirit, things that come from the outside of us. And that's what I'm going to change that just slightly. I had something else. So we're going to focus on new insights from outside of us. So new insights from outside of me is how I'm going to write that. So maybe write that on your paper. Gratitude for new insights from outside of me. And I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds, and we're going to do a private silent meditation on gratitude for new insights from outside of me, and we'll see what happens. So go ahead and write down whatever comes to you beginning now. Okay. Well, I want to share the words that I had written down before I changed it to from outside of me. I had new insights through others, is what I had written down to begin with. But that felt a little bit limiting because because we receive new insights from God, and I guess he could maybe be considered an other, but I can have God within me. And I just thought about receiving new insights from nature, and so others felt a little bit limiting. So that's why I changed it to new insights from outside of me. And really, what felt super authentic to me was just really connecting with God and receiving new insights. And I realized that all new insights come from outside of me. There is no new insight that comes from within. It's either from an inspired thought or from something that somebody says or something I read or whatever. All new insights come from outside of me. And then I can plant that seed in my heart of a new insight and see, does this resonate, and kind of test it out, and see if it feels true to me. Then I can decide whether I want to keep it or I want to get rid of it. But that just really brought a new gratitude for people who write books, for people who have the inspired thought to share something. I got an email from somebody yesterday that he shared a chapter in a book with me, just, sent the actual chapter for me to read. And it went right along with something that that's been coming to me in my daily GPS. And it really was more of a confirmation that what I've been receiving is true. And so I'm just really grateful for new insights from outside of me. I'm grateful for the people and for God, the connection that I have with him, and the people that follow through on their inspiration, their promptings to share things with me. And I'm grateful for God guiding me to the right things that will help to confirm information that he's giving me from outside of me, new insights that he's giving me from outside of me. It's just kind of all one big story. Who else? Phil, you have something?
I'll be brief here. Mine's exactly down the same lines as you, and that is the problem is never on the outside, but the answer is. So
problems never on the outside, but the answer is. I love that.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Tyree, I think I saw you unmute. Do you have something?
So I have a video that I was going to share today, and it went right along with this. You know how there are weeds in our gardens and sometimes we don't notice them until they're huge?
Mm-hmm.
They all of a sudden, wow, how did I not notice that? And I feel like we have the same thing in our souls. And my children bring those giant weeds to my attention so well, a little bit too well sometimes. And so I'm so grateful. And the words that came to me first is dew distilling on my soul in the morning from heaven. Those are the words that came to me. And I just think that when we allow those insights to come from, whether it's from my garden or whether it's from my children or whether it's from me processing, just pondering and thinking on something that I've heard from someone else, or a talk or a video or like a TED talk or something, that it is like dew distilling on my soul in the morning from heaven.
Beautiful.
So I just want to share that.
I love that. I love that. Who else?
Can I share?
Yeah, Melinda, and then we'll go Melinda, then Deep T, then Robert.
Okay. So this morning, I've been working on my GPS for a little while this morning. And so it was really interesting when I did my round of gratitudes. I was grateful for me, my soul, my body, my vision. And as I was saying it, the limiting belief came up, right? And so I wrote it down, and I wrote this down: how selfish to be grateful for yourself.
Wow.
And it was very interesting to me that right at that moment I saw, because I went to change yourself to myself. And I was like, well, that's not what was in my head. What was in my head was for yourself. And that was the moment that I realized that that wasn't me talking. That wasn't me. And so when we wrote, when we pondered about the new insights from the outside of me, I realized that that was an insight from outside of me, that limiting belief was from another entity, an outsider trying to convince me of a lie. That this new insight helped me to realize on an even deeper level that these limits or things holding me back are not always me, that there's a battle going on, and I must open my vision to be aware, awake, and prepare my mind, body, and soul. And in order to do that, I must care and appreciate for my second greatest instrument that I have, which is myself, the first being God, Christ, our Savior, and the Holy Ghost.
Wow. So powerful, Melinda. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. New insights from outside of me. We can get new insights even from sources that wouldn't have our best interest at heart. Thank you. I love that. Deepti, and then Robert, and then Lara.
So what I wanted to share is, because of the new insights you have from the outside of you, be it a mentor, be it the interactive sessions and the other people talking on this call, so your voice kind of, can touch someone else's life, and the compassion in your voice can find a passage to the listener's soul, striking his or her heart, and even compel that other person to take some action in their respective lives to make self-improvement.
Wow. My words might compel action in another person. How powerful. Thank you. Beautiful. Robert.
Did you say Robert?
Yes.
So during the 92nd, I cleaned up what one of our gratitudes for me to understand it clearer. And it's so funny that it fits so close to you and Melinda in how it comes into one's soul. And so I cleaned it up and wrote, if God answered my prayers as I want him to, it would make me too powerful. I have to be willing to receive my answers of God's help I've requested of him through people from prayers I've asked of him.
Oh.
And I think that is so fitting of how powerful we are with one another.
Oh, awesome.
And the importance of connecting.
Beautiful. Thank you. I've heard that something about angels, that God's messengers, and that sometimes they are not heavenly messengers, but they're actually messengers, from on earth. And I know that we were not meant to return to him all by ourselves, even just with him. We're all one. We work together to help support each other. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Beautiful. Thank you.
Lara.
So the first thought that I had was that there's nothing outside of me. Really, there isn't anything outside of me, and I'm not outside of anything else. There's no place where I truly, on an energetic level, end and another person begins. So when insights come, where it really is a matter of that what I tend to see, because I could see anything, but what I see is what I'm trained to see, what I can see perceptually, what I'm capable of seeing, what is vibrationally a match to me. Those are the things I see. And so the result of this is really profound for a project that I'm working on, because there's a profound responsibility in each of us I believe, in me with that awareness. If there's nothing outside of me and I'm not outside of anything else, that's a profound responsibility. Again, our ability to respond, to take care of each other, and to love. And anything else is just absolutely false.
Well, I know, Laura, because we spent the weekend together having some of these conversations, and I appreciate you bringing us back to this because in the last masterclass that I taught of how to harness the power of Christ to calm any storm, that really what you're saying is exactly right. That when we have eyes on Christ, it's like we have access to everything. He is in everything. And so when we have eyes on Christ and we receive him within us, then we have access to everything as well. We are the storm. We are the calm. We are, the power to walk on water. We are everything. We have all the knowledge when we have eyes on Christ. And really, we are his creation. And, I know this is like a whole nother like master class. This is not just, a few minutes of whatever, but I just want to say, I really appreciate you bringing me back to that nothing is outside of me. I have everything within me, and so does everybody else, and I am you and you are me and all of that. So this is very high level that, could take more conversation than we have time for today. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
I just got one little last thought here, and that is that, like, there are vibrations happening everywhere, like everywhere, and your experience is a culmination of all those vibrations coming to your spot, whatever it is. Wherever you're standing, the waves come around and they culminate, and then you look at it from your perspective and say, this is what it means. And that's how we learn, right? And chances are we're like, our interpretation, of course, is very limited because we don't see everything and where it's coming from and where it's going and why it was created or anything like that. We just take our perspective. So the thought that I had was that, while we're standing here, we have these things that happened to us in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have this fear that it will happen again the same
Mm-hmm.
way that it happened in the past. And so really, like, what are the odds that all those vibrational patterns coming to culminating in this one spot where you happen to be standing would ever happen that way again?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, it wouldn't. Maybe it could, I suppose, but anyway, just that's kind of what's coming to my mind. I don't know why I'm going there, but that's
Okay.
my thought process. I thought I'd share it.
Thank you. I just want to add, one little piece, that the experiences that we have, as long as we allow experiences and we allow things to just be and, learn from them and just be aware of them, then everything is awesome. But as soon as we make a decision about something, like, this is what this means, that experience was bad, or whatever, then we eliminate all the other possibilities. And so I think, that this new insights from outside of us, if we can allow new insights from outside of us and within us, as we've talked about, if we can continue allowing new insights, then we keep that space of limitless possibilities. Laura, did you have something else?
No, I think what you just said was perfect.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Let's go ahead and shift into our permission process. Everybody just go ahead and take a deep breath. And just express gratitude for everything that we have received today, new insights that have come from actually outside of us, but also within us, just feeling the resonance of truth with some of these things that have been shared, and the gratitude for this place that we have to come and contemplate some of these ideas and thoughts that maybe we wouldn't otherwise. So this is a really great place to come to receive insights from outside of our own thinking, our own thought process. And really allow that deep connection to happen with Christ, with God, with the Holy Spirit, receiving new insights in this beautiful open space where all things are possible. And if there is a particular area in your life that you've been struggling with, that you felt like there is no out, there's no hope, there's no solution, no easy solution maybe, that you can allow yourself to kind of open yourself and just allow all things to be possible, and to know that everything is within me, nothing is outside of me. I am enough. I have everything, access to everything. And what is the solution? Just listen for the first thing that's coming to you. What's the solution to this, quote, problem? It's something that I have seen as a problem. What is the solution? And whatever the first thing that comes to you, just trust it. Don't question it. Trust it and know that that is the answer. And it's been there all along, and you just have not been willing and open to receive it. And what is the limiting belief coming up for you about that solution, about receiving that solution? What's your limiting belief? And what's the cost of that limiting belief? What's it been causing for you in your life so far? And what is it likely to continue causing if you hold on to that limiting belief? And if you are not resonating with that cost, if you're feeling like that's not going to serve me, then now's the time to give yourself permission to make a change. And so if you're willing to give yourself permission to make a change, say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
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 Awesome. And then the way that you make a change is you change your new belief, or change your limiting belief into some new beliefs. So choose 2 or 3 new beliefs that are going to change that limiting belief, will allow you to let it go, to just allow it to go on its way. It's not serving you anymore. And to bring in some new beliefs, or to just recognize some new beliefs because they already do exist within you, and just bring them to the forefront of your awareness and begin living your life according to these new beliefs, rather than allowing the limiting belief to subconsciously run your life. Create some new beliefs consciously that will allow you to make some different choices, that will allow this solution that you have received to actually be successful. So what are those new beliefs? And as you are getting clear with what those new beliefs are, I invite you to really breathe those new beliefs in and allow them to become part of you. Bring them into your heart and soul, so that now your life is on being consistently run with these new beliefs as the energy that creates power within your life of change. Instead of the limiting belief that was running your life, allow these new beliefs to help you automatically make choices that will keep you in this positive space of finding that solution and actually achieving success in this area in your life. And make sure that those new beliefs are not just taking you to a place of safety, security, or just bare survival. that your new beliefs are actually taking you well beyond that to thriving, to living in a space that I have enough, I am enough, I have everything within me, I am everything. And being in this new space of having everything and being everything, what is your inspired shortcut? If you know that you cannot fail because you have everything and you are everything, what is the one most important thing you can do today to really anchor in these new beliefs and anchor in this new idea that I am everything, that I have everything within me? And whatever I don't see is easily accessible through others, through God's inspiration, through Him guiding me to new insights. What's your inspired shortcut to keep you in that space of feeling that you have everything and that you are everything? We'll have just a couple of minutes to share. I just want to invite anyone that is feeling like they need some extra support in this area to reach out to me and to schedule a 15-minute mentoring session with me. And that's free. All you have to do is just go to askwylene.com, and that will take you to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call. And I am just ready and willing at any time to have a conversation with you if there's anything that you're struggling with. askwylene.com. Who has something they'd like to share about their experience today? Just go ahead and unmute and share if you have something.
I'll share.
Okay, Melinda, and then Deep Tea.
Okay. With my first limiting belief, the cost of feeling of not appreciating myself is being unappreciated. And so that constant feeling of unappreciated would then bleed into my family and into my family life. And I would be assuming that's coming from them when it was coming within myself. So I absolutely will give myself permission to change. The next limiting belief was like, it will cost too much. And what is the cost? If I have everything I need within me, I have to choose with my agency just to open my hands and heart and receive it.
Wow, beautiful. That's such a powerful thought that when we assume that something's coming from the outside of us, it feels like we're a victim. It feels like we don't have any control over that. But when we really accept that idea that nothing is outside of me, like Clara said, that it's all within me, and especially with eyes on Christ, everything, I have everything within me, then what power that brings. You know, first of all, it feels a little bit like, oh, I don't want to take the responsibility of having all, access to everything, but really what power that we have to create the life that we choose. And not only that, but to heal our land, to heal our world, to really create the perfect outcome for our whole world when we have that all within us. Thank you. Deep Tea, and then Robert.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you, because not many coaches, like mentors or coaches, have a two-way conversation. It's about them always, giving a perception about how they see spirituality. You actually give a chance for your insights and the people's insights, and we make a collective insight about the whole topic every single day. So I'd really like to thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's such a powerful way to learn. This mastermind is so powerful. Thank you. I appreciate you acknowledging that, Deep Tea. Robert.
Well, again, it's interesting how all this comes together, and today's been no different. I came to the conclusion while I was writing in my book that Mother, for example, saw the world as she saw herself. She saw anger in the world because she was angry in herself. I saw happiness in the world because I saw happiness inside of me. And so just seeing the world as we see ourselves is very telling.
Well, beautiful. Thank you. Again, just really puts that power back in our hands, doesn't it? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'd love to continue sharing. We are at the end of our time, so we're going to go ahead and end our call. I sincerely appreciate everybody's contributions to this call. And again, do share the gratitude call out. I feel like we here within this call and on the podcast have such a powerful message of gratitude to share with the world. And I really believe that there is such power that happens when people can be in gratitude. So we do have a lot of control. We do have a lot of power of creating wonderful things in the world. And I'm just so appreciative and so grateful for everybody that joins every day. Love you guys. We will look forward to being back together on tomorrow, 7 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Thank you again. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Wiley.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.